and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I am going to be telling a story while I do my makeup. I was inspired to do this by Bailey Sarian's Makeup Mystery Monday videos. They're amazing. If you have not watched her Makeup Mystery Monday videos, you should. She does a true crime story every Monday based on a story that she has been researching for a while, and she does her makeup while she does the story. It's really interesting. I love it. So also today I'm just going to be doing something using a palette that is well loved, but I've never really talked about. I always use the white in this palette, but some of the other colors I don't, but I'm going to be using one of the brightest color called Bahamas. And I'm going to do a look today with that. And I'm also going to, I can't talk today. I slept until like 11:45. Yeah, I don't ever do that. But I slept really late today and I wanted to shoot today, but anyway, here I am. So I'm going to use this palette, well loved. Use the white in this palette all the time. The rest of the colors, not so much, honestly. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and today I'm going to tell you a story about the Hollywood sign. It is something that keeps popping up in my life, and it's a popular story that may be going around. I just thought it was random how it kept coming up on social media to me, and also when I would watch TV it would come up to me, and then like it just seemed like a random story. And then I started to research more about it, and I'm like, this story is actually really interesting, and I wasn't aware of like all of the history behind the Hollywood sign in LA until recently. So I wanted to share the story of the history of the Hollywood sign while doing one of my favorite things, which is makeup. So let me know if you enjoy this video, like and subscribe, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's talk about the Hollywood sign out in LA. The Hollywood sign was built in the year 1923. It was constructed by developers for a subdivision. This sign was meant to be for housing development. The housing development was never built, however. So the neighborhood for the Hollywoodland neighborhood was never fully developed, and I'm not really sure why. I tried to look it up why it was never made. Possibly because of pricing discrepancies. It was very expensive to make the sign and also to build on Mount Lee, where the sign is located. This neighborhood was meant to be for up-and-coming actors and actresses for their up-and-coming status. In the year 1932, however, a 24-year-old actress named Peg Entwistle, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, jumps from the H, completing suicide. Peg was from the UK. She was a Welsh actress, and she was trying to make it big in LA, or I guess you could say Hollywood land, or Hollywood. And she had fallen on really hard times. She had auditioned to many roles. She was originally a stage actress, and she had done many plays in New York, but she wanted to make it big in LA. Peg had fallen on hard times. That Peg was depressed, and while she was in Hollywood, she was isolated. She was away from her family. She had gotten married a few years earlier, but that had only ended in divorce, and she was living with her aunt and uncle. And life was not going the way that she had wanted it to be. She had plans of being a big actress, owning her own home, and having her own family. In Hollywood, it is said that the day after she completed suicide, that the role that she thought she had not been accepted for, it said that she had actually gotten the role. And there was a letter in the mail that her uncle opened the next day. I don't know how true this story is, but it is nice to hear that. It's kind of tragic, actually, that she could have been, if she had opened that letter, she could have been saved by just that one positive thing that would be happening in her life. It's just sad. It's really sad. So today, if you go to visit the Hollywood sign, it is said that if you walk by, you can still see Peg. She does appear to some people that pass by the sign. And also her signature scent of gardenias can be smelled. So she lives forever on, and I'm using the color Sales from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette right now. If you haven't watched the show Hollywood that is on Netflix right now, it's pretty good. It has a lot of the history of the Hollywood sign in it, and it actually covers the story of Peg, which they eventually turn into the story of Meg. That's kind of confusing to explain why you'd have to watch the show, but it was interesting to me. Peg Entwistle, what happened to her is very tragic. She's known forever for trying to follow her dreams in Hollywood and the struggle that goes along with trying to make it big in Hollywood. Sometimes you make it and sometimes it breaks you, and her story is a lot of people's story. So I just thought it was interesting, and it's important to bring up her story because she's very much involved in that part of the Hollywood history. In the year 1940, the Hollywoodland sign dropped its H. The H was knocked down. A lot of people blamed Peg or said it was Peg's doing. Peg's ghost was the cause of the H being lost. So by the year, okay, I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and just go in with Coastline and go right over what I've done. 1949, Hollywoodland, or Hollywood sign now, has had a lot of action and it needed a lot of repairs. Chamber of Commerce decided that the land, even though it had been taken off in a landslide, it decided that the land would not be repaired because they wanted the sign to reflect the town and not the subdivision that was going to happen on top of that of Mountain Lee, which I think that was a good decision. I think Hollywood rolls a little bit easier off the tongue than Hollywoodland. Sounds a little like an amusement park or something. So by the 1970s, the sign was decaying again. Someone even set fire to one of the letters. Like, and this is the color Coastline I'm going in with now. I guess that's like the major FU to Hollywood. Alright, I'm gonna go in with the white and the color Estate, or right under my brow, I guess I should say. So in the year 1978, the Hollywoodland sign was decaying, and it was so bad that Fleetwood Mac, my beloved Fleetwood Mac, came in, and they were, I think they were like a newish band in 1978, but they volunteered to do a concert at the Dome to try and raise money to try and save the sign. So it goes to the boards and they talk about it, and they had some of the townspeople come in and petition against it because they were afraid that it would be too loud. So I guess to the people in that area at the time, the Hollywood's land sign was not a top priority. It might be annoying to them, but it is sort of a touristy thing, so I could see where they would kind of hate it at the same time. But, and I'm sorry, if I said 1978, it was actually 1977 that Fleetwood Mac came in. Now we're in 1978, the next year. Hugh Hefner, in the year 1978, held a fundraiser gala where he auctioned off each of the letters in the Hollywood sign. And he auctioned each letter off for $27,700. The Hollywood sign was very important to Hugh Hefner, obviously, because he had made it in Hollywood. So he wanted to put himself out there and try and save it. Alice Cooper bought the O, or one of the O's, in the Hollywood sign. It seems to me that, like, the people that are trying to save the sign are the people that made it big in Hollywood, because it just means so much to them. Like, I guess they grew up seeing that sign, and I guess it just had like a huge impact on them, and they're like, I have to go there. I have to make it big there. So that's interesting to me. I don't know. It's either you resent the sign, you want to set it on fire, or you want to spend $27,000 to help save it. Interesting. So I'm using the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara right now. The sign, again, is in risk of being demolished due to development on top of Mount Lee once again. And I don't know when these people are gonna quit. They really want to build like a housing development on that hill. I mean, I guess it has really great views. Again, I haven't been there, but it must have that sweet view of the town from the top. I mean, it has to be. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so in 2010, it's in risk of being demolished due to a housing development. So the Trust for Public Land comes in, and they rallied to have the sign saved. And to have the sign saved, $0.5 million to have that sign saved. And they went all out and almost had it saved. But they were 1 million, almost 1 million short. And the town was like, nope, we need that last million. So the story got out that they needed to have the sign saved. And guess who comes in once again to save the sign? Mr. Hugh Hefner. He really likes that sign, man. So Hugh Hefner comes in and he donates the final almost $1 million that they were needing to have the sign saved and remain on top of Mount Lee. So no houses were built that year. Okay, so I put on mascara on my bottom rim of lashes, and I put on some primer. It's the Winky Lux one. I really like it. It's the whipped primer from Winky Lux. And now I'm going in with the Makeup Forever foundation with a brush. So anyway, Hugh Hefner, love that freaking sign. And he even is quoted saying, Hefner said, "It's become something iconic and not only represents Hollywood dreams, and I think that's most worth preserving." So, there you go. And it's a piece of history that I really do hope to see one day, whenever I can travel again. This the history of the Hollywood sign was first brought to my attention by Two Girls, One Ghost, the podcast. They were talking about the Peg Entwistle story, and I thought that was really interesting and sad, tragic once again. I just wish she would have gotten that letter maybe like a day earlier, you know? But then, you know, and we could be talking about her in a more positive light. The thing that came to my attention about the sign was I watched the show Hollywood on Netflix. I'm just trying to give these people or shows where I kept hearing about the Hollywood sign and its history some credit. That made and inspired me to research more into the story. But I watched Hollywood, and they talked about the history of the Hollywood sign, so I thought that was interesting. And then which by the way, Ryan Murphy, he does American Horror Story. He's the one that does Hollywood on Netflix as well. He does such a good job on his shows. Like, he definitely has a certain style that's really interesting to me. It's just different. And you know, it's like almost a mark, like you know what's his style is if you watch enough of his stuff, which I watch a lot of his stuff. I watched Scream Queens. I watched almost every series of... I watched almost every season of American Horror Story except for the last one that just came out. I'm waiting for it to go to Netflix so I don't have to watch commercials. Sorry. And, yeah, and then I watched Hollywood, which I thought was pretty good. The next thing I saw on social media, I was watching TikTok actually, and I just thought it was interesting that Jasmine Criswell, I think her name is, she is very interesting to me. She lives in Marilyn Monroe's house, and she kind of looks like Marilyn Monroe. She has a very interesting lifestyle, and she knows a lot of history about the area and everything. So she was talking about the Hollywood sign and how Hugh Hefner saved the Hollywood sign twice. And I thought that was interesting. Be saved again in about 5 to 10 years because that thing needs a lot of help. Apparently. It's a very complicated sign. It's got a lot of baggage. Okay, so I just bronzed my face using the Hoola bronzer from this palette. But yeah, I kind of ran out of things to talk about with this story too soon, but this is my first time doing like a piece of history with, you know, doing makeup. And that was the Anarchy Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil I just used. And I'm also going to use this bright lipstick called Cotton Candy over that. And I'm also going to go in with the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Blush. And this color is Rally. And it's really bright pink too. This is a very pink look today. And I'm only going to do a little bit, I promise. Because this is getting a little bit out of hand how much pink I have on my face. Alright, I'm just using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the color Oozy right under my eye. It's like a gunmetal, like dark gray color, but it has like a little bit of a shine or sparkle to it. And I am going to go in with a little bit of a highlight. I'm going to use one of my favorites right now, which is the Bretman Rock from Wet n Wild. And I'm going to go in with the this highlight's called Jungle Rock, and I'm going to go in with the gold one, which is Lioness. Just set my face with my new favorite setting spray, which is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And this is the peach one, and I just got this recently. It was in my last tutorial, but I love this stuff. It smells like peaches. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Oh, and I always forget lashes, but I'm gonna use the Kiss Looks Natural Lightweight and Comfortable Lashes. I'm gonna do that really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just putting a little more blush on. and I'm done. But I put on my lashes and yeah, this is it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different than what I usually do. I just wanted to give something else a try. I don't think I'm gonna do my hair today because I just don't feel like it. And I will catch you guys later in my next video. I can't promise how soon I'll be able to upload videos now that I am starting back to work, but hopefully it'll be sooner. I was uploading like once or twice a week, so I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to withhold that, but hopefully once a week I can commit to that. But let me know what you guys think. I love hearing from you guys, and thanks for watching. See you next time.